All right, it's deadlift day, aka pull day, which might sound weird to y'all, but Andrew had this good idea to include this hinge exercise before our pull day, and I thought it was a good idea too, since normally on our leg days we squat and do machine-based stuff like pendulum squats and all that, hack squats. So on a pull day, did not seem that crazy to me. So we're warming up with the bar. Uh, we go up pyramid style on this. So you see, Andrew moved on to a play already. Guess that easily. And we have the Dawn with us. But right now it's gonna be my tour on the plate. Doing that easily. One thing for my technique and all that, I could say that I can squat a little bit more. I am literally just using my lower back on this, but it actually gets a little bit better when we get heavier, so can't say I'm mad at that. We put the 25 for the Don. He hasn't deadlifted in a long time, so he's got to move around a little bit, which is not bad. It's not surprising though. He's moving around with David. He is very keen on technique and doing everything optimal, which has only been going a few weeks with us to the gym. That is a very good start, a good trait to have. Being very keen on technique and all that, trying to avoid ego lifting as much as you can, is very good. So we move on to two plates, still raw, of course. And I think I take off my socks. I mean, not my shoes. They have very lift. I brought my Air Forces, which I don't even know was a good idea. It was just, well, we keep pushing on, right? Or say pulling on. Move on. We take it off for David, which since we're maxing, why might as well that he tries to max and knows where his limit is. So he goes to one plate, which for not definitely for a long time, he's doing it really well. Does a couple reps on this, no biggie. Now we move on to Andrew's turn. Uh, I believe we go straight to three plates. Or no, no, we're on 25. Ah, I was just kidding. I think we're doing belt this time. He has it under his sweater, so you can't see him. But we're not doing straps yet until we get above 315. So yeah, you see him pop it. It's my turn with my belt. And I accidentally left my shoes on for this one. But it didn't matter. However, I did have an arch on this one. So does it matter? Well, we're not even maxing yet, so we'll see. So we put the good old weights away. And we load up the bar for David. And we found out his one rep max, which is a plain 25. And we decided, hey, maybe he can drop set and try to get more rest. But he got one without the bell, and he used Andrew's bell for the rest, but he couldn't anymore. He told us a little bit later, I think right before Andrew's next hit on the 315, that he has very stiff joints and like he got a little pain in there. So he went off. David went off camera for some kettlebell deadlifts. So you can get more of the motion going on, and you wouldn't want some crazy tearing to happen, right? So me, it's gonna be in this recording, uh, in this exercise specifically, it's just gonna be me and the Drewski. So Now we're starting with belt and straps, which is going great. Just hogging that bar up and down like it's a feather. And me and Drewski get 10 reps on this. I remember, or 8 to 10 at least in that range. Simple and effective. Right? Now we move on to 3 plates and a 10. We didn't do a 1 rep max in this video, in this recording, unfortunately, but uh, 3 plates and a 10 was actually Drewski's 1 rep max, and he actually got 2, which is really good. We love progressive overload. So I had 2 reps on this before this recording. So now that I got 4, pretty good. And one thing to note is that actually I could have gone 2 more on deadlift, but I just rather be safe in that, in like hefty weights. If it's nearing towards failure, it's not a problem. But now we're onto this contraption, doing underhand, which I love this exercise for the stretch you get on this. And I am, on all honesty, as an underhand exercise, it feels like therapy, you know? Like just the warm up set, I just feel my back just like a rubber band is just stretching out. Pause. But just messing around, feeling it around, you know. I've done this exercise multiple times with Andrew. So I was able to give a few pointers to David on this one because as a unilateral exercise, you can twist your body on this. As you can see right here. And it is phenomenal. Since the entire back it's not supposed to be a two-dimensional movement. It can wrap around your body, like your arm going onto the other side, vice versa. So really twisting it is really beneficial for hypertrophy. But of course, it's a warm-up set, right? So we go on to David, which on this exercise he's pretty strong in. He's really strong in. I believe he gets to 2 plates, which is really, really good. So throughout this exercise, Andrew and I are giving tips on his movement. As you can see, I'm just showing how it wraps around the torso and how one that he's using his other arm for stability, just in case he doesn't want to fly away, you know, or how he can use his other arm to self spy him. Since you have one hand open, right, and you can just help yourself on this one. But we decided to drop set this one anyway. So right after him, we put on 2 plates. Andrew just repping it like normal. No straps, no nothing. It's pretty simple. I think the main factor you got to put on this is control. Since if you don't control, especially with really hefty weight, it's like you're just gonna rip your arm off, right? And we don't want that, right? So, and then we're just grabbing onto deer life, making sure we don't stretch too far, but is it really too far? We'll never know. I think the far it's too far is when it gets torn, right? But back being a specialty in strength for me, I don't think there's a high bar to reach to tear my back, which is crazy because I actually never seen a lot of people tear their back muscles before. It's mainly pec tears, ab cramps, oh, like the preacher curl on your biceps and get that tendon like just snap. But I haven't mainly seen back tears. Maybe I have to look that up somewhere. But David's on to 2 plates. Just look at him go. He doesn't get that many reps in, but that's fine because we just drop set it for him. And I think later in this set specifically, Andrew just gives some force reps, which he didn't have to because David can just do himself. And I call this guy Sir Optimum now. He's no longer the Don. He's the. Oh, look at that. Cell spotting, bro. That like he doesn't care. Really good. He dropped the weight, and David keeps going, trying to get the extra few reps, as close to failure as he can. Start moving it quick. He took a 2-second break just for that cut, and he was able to get a few more reps in. Like, oh my god. I even sense the pain in him. Now we move on to 2 plates and a 25. 2 plates and a 25. And without straps is really, really, really good. I think the furthest we done on this was probably 4 plates. I don't even remember, but we definitely use straps on these because on this hammer strength machine, there are rubber bars, and for most of you possible gym goers, rubber bars are somewhat slippery if unattended. They worn out, kind of weird, and you can just lose a grip on a lot, which limits your force and your potential rep, basically. And we just move on to me. Wow, Andrew said ran pretty quick. He'd probably done them so fast. But yeah, just not crazy. Main thing I'm trying to focus on is just my grip, making sure it doesn't slip and make such a ruckus. But shaking it like a chainsaw, try to row it, just get it started. And despite being a little heftier, I still try to get that stretch. Now David's on 2 plates again, or he might be on 1 plate and 25. We'll just see when he does the other side. Pretty good, pretty good. And we've been going to the gym around the usual 4 4 p.m. ish. But we end at like 7. These are 3-hour sessions, which with 3 people is not that crazy. It's very possible, but it's still very long. Like every day that I go with these guys, and later you're gonna see Ricardo, which is gonna be in our, I think, on our it's gonna be actually next week's recordings. Which, in context, when you see this, it's gonna be a week after. So So is that a plate or two plates? Let me look. Yeah, that's one plate. So I believe it's one plate and 25, and he just drops it again. Little force reps. Very, very good. Very good. Even Davis contemplating about life with that set, but he doesn't care because they just drop it. Drop the 25. Now it's just the plate. Very good. Very good. Oh my lord, he is fighting. He is fighting that weight. But set is really, really good. With Andrews, two plates 25. He actually has been to the gym more than I do. For my first year in college, I went to the rec center with a 5 day split and all that, and that was actually my first year kind of dedicated to the gym. Uh, not as much as this 6 day split that I have with Andrew in the dome. And Andrew has been working out since I believe high school and sophomore year. But mainly in the weight room, so it's not specific like what we're doing in these in this split. Where in weight room he would just do there's one thing where he told me that he would do pull-ups so the edges of the tower. So it would basically as far as he's able to go. Like not that he can, that he's able to go. And even if he has to use a band, he would just have to do wide pull-ups, which is, in my opinion, was crazy. Since I was actually more of a calisthenics person during high school, so I did much pull-ups and all that, and I actually got my dip belt before my lever belt, since I was doing mainly dips. I actually had cast iron weights, so I could put on my back doing push-ups, which is pretty good. But now that we're in the gym, I don't really do that much anymore. But we ball, and I believe I can still do it. It's not that crazy still. So we move on to these boys, which um, which I'm gonna bear with me. We go we go very very heavy. We on the end, believe me and Andrew goes. We rode like 120 each side, and with this specific movement, we're not just pulling up and down, right? I think you can tell by uh this session we have, don't mind the calves. Oh my god, they look kind of small in this angle. But they've been a curved movement. So you see how David in the first rep he did like some of a linear movement. We do not want that. So Andrew beside him just like showed him that it's a circular motion, as if he's reaching down in front of him and he's trying to touch his glutes. And he does that simple, very simple. Now we move on to, I think we went like straight to hundreds, or maybe this might be 90. I can't tell, but we are using straps. Well, actually, it might be 100 if we're using straps. But yeah, see that circular motion? Um, it is very, very hefty weight, so I do not expect to Andrew or me to get a second pause squeezing. But for stretching, the stretch part, absolutely. That is very, very good. So you see me, doing circular. I do have a habit of just like going vertical, just like on my the amount of force I do in like an instant is very explosive. So I would have to use. Oh, can I see it? It looks like. Oh, are those 120? Wait, did we just go straight to 120? That is no, that's crazy. Wait, let me see. Let me see. Yeah, 120s. Wow, I did not know we just went to straight 120s. That's or no, is that 110? Oh no, it's just 100. Okay, okay, cool. But yeah, a little transition, a little smack at the camera. But David, I believe his max on a usual rep range is I believe 60, which I think he does more with straps. So he's catching up to us. He's catching up to us. And talk about catching up. I believe on this recording or the following 2 days, not on the rest day. That would be the rest day, but David got his creatine, which really good, really good. Creatine, very good. And oh, we're on the 115s now. Oh boy, we on the 115s. But yeah, David's soon gonna get some whey protein. Uh, I asked him like, are you gonna bulk like me and Andrew are doing, or are you just gonna cut straight? Cause he's in this middle ground, right? Where he wants to get like strong and all that, and very aesthetic. But he's like, I don't even know. So you'll just have to find out for himself. But between it's just me and Andrew in our bulk, 190 as that recording. I'm trying to hit 200, which I think most of that is my water uh from my lean mass because I do not feel sluggish gaining what my my lowest weight for the past year or 2 years it was 155, which 50 pounds is a big that's a big difference in like a year. So it could be still some fat. This I'll admit, but ever since I taken that creatine, oh my, I drink so much water. It's absurd. But I do like water, so it doesn't even matter. So sadly, we skipped over David's or set, but you probably watched it while I was just talking over. But now we're doing the 120s, which as you can see, the so hefty, it's so hard to bend our arms, which is of course just hefty. 120 on each side. That's like 240 pounds if we did both together, and with actually less range because we wouldn't be able to get a bigger stretch if we're using both hands. So oh, but I am whoa, I am eagle lifting, but it is heavyweight. So am I mad? No. And I actually get a little more of a bend. But from oh, and I forgot to mention we just dropped to 100 after the 120, which oh my god, it is brutal. But you see me, I'm doing that circular motion. From what Andrew tells me, the in a stagger stance doing these, you have more force exerted from your back leg. So, and this side would be my left. So what I obviously not taking out my shoes for this, but um, putting your back, or not your back, your foot back furthermore, it's more stable, and you can actually control it more if you do that. So look at David right now, very controlled, very good, very optimal. But once he gets to our rates, he's gonna have some fun. Now you switch to the other side. So those straps are those 75? Yeah, those are 75s. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Look at that form. But anyway, back part is done. Now we move on to biceps. We we do some incline dumbbell curls. Very simple. Uh, in bicep exercises, I recommend including one exercise that goes behind your torso, like your arms behind your torso, one that's on par with your torso, and then one that's forward. So for this exercise, it is behind our back or torso, which I believe in these kinds of exercises you get more of the peak of the bicep, and for the on par, it's like mainly both peak and inside, and then of course on preacher curls and all that, it's for the inside. So mainly on these curls, you don't want to rotate your shoulders, so you're able to really isolate those biceps. Try not to lead the elbows. Just only think of the forearm rotating. But you see me, I'm just messing around with the what are these 25s? Let's see, or the 30s. I really can't tell, but I was a little bit messing around. I want to Dave. Man, this guy is so like it pains me that I'm glazing this form, but what can I say? It is not bad. It is pretty good. Just look at that, and he does that so effortlessly. Speaking about effortless, we went on to 35s, I believe, from IC, and Andrew's doing some alternating, which is very fun. I believe alternating is a better method of doing these exercises with rather than doing it once, but it does take up more time and you do get bored of them. So like for the first couple sets, it feels like you're mogging everyone in the gym, right? And oh, those are 30s, not 35. But yeah, you're just mogging the entire gym, saying, "Oh my god, I have big biceps. Oh my, look at my peak. I have 20-inch arms, whatever." But with just doing it at the same time, it's just more cost effective, like for time, especially in when we're doing 3 hours for a pull day. But we ball. Davis turn once again. Just peak performance right here. He does say that he runs out of energy a lot, which if he's doing a form like this, I just expect it. Like if he's out of juice. So now Andrew's doing both at the same time now, which he is fiending for that last rep. Absolutely demolishing his bicep right now. And which is a good question. What I saw in those last reps, Andrew gives a little cheat to the rep, which could be cool if you're trying to get closer to failure. But it is controversial since it is a form of ego lifting. But once you're really tiring yourself out in that set, is it worth it to cheat a little bit in order to get one more rep? since you can have another opportunity to slow down the eccentric and further getting that stretch for sure. I don't know. It is a controversial thing, but from either side is understandable, but it depends on the person and their viewpoints on their sets. So this is our forward exercise. Preacher curls, the infamous bicep terror, but we are not foolish, so we actually take our time on these, make sure we're not doing a weight that's absurd. So we're just handling the easy bar. I believe it's a 10 and a 5 on each side. Yes. The furthest we could do was that I and Andrew can do is 25 at a 10 each side, 35. But hopefully, at some point I'll be able to do one plate actually. But right now it's a warm up. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but throughout these recordings, we mainly do two warm up sets before our working sets. So that's 5 sets in total. 3 working sets in case. Which a lot is, especially David. He jokes around as like, "Is this a 6 warm up set?" But each exercise is unique. So warming up each exercise is not that difficult. Since if you're going lightweight, low rep, it's not a huge deal breaker, right? And if sometimes it's also a feel, since based on the warm ups that you start, you can depend if you want to go up majorly or just test like the next warm up set that you want to go a little bit higher. Let's see how your the limit is, and then you do your working set, which is going to be brutal. But right now we're on our 25, taking out the sleeves from this one. But yeah, it's pretty good. Slowly up, explosive, just how I like it. But yeah, warm up sets. It's very. It's dependent on you as well, since on the push day that I posted and for this recording, David goes on that his warm up sets also are treated like a working set. So I tell him to do half of our rep range on our working set. So if it's mainly 8 to 10, he can try his best to get a 5. Like try 5, which is most possible if you're doing really lightweight. But since the gap in strength for me and Andrew and versus David, he messes around with the way of our warm up sets, which can actually be as heavy as his working sets. So for that, he has to mess around a little bit for to find out where his warm up set is, so he doesn't break a joint or tear a tendon. So right here, we're doing some assisted reps, which you can't even. There's no way to get an extra rep or two in this exercise, especially when you're at the bottom. When you reach like a little bit failure, it's you would have to as if jump back in order to get the rep, which is very exaggerative. So Assisted reps are really, really good on this. Or you can just take the time just to drop set. It's not as bad either. But then we move on to Davis. He's 25. I think this is limit right here. Yeah. Take out the clips since we might switch it out with the 10 as a drop up set. I, I don't remember this part though. We do give him assists though, so that's pretty good. If you can always do more, do more. It's that simple. Which applies to all aspects of life really. If you can just do more, you should. If you need help to do more, then kindly ask. It's not a horrible thing to say, like to ask someone to help. But that is a major part in growth since most of these sets are going to be struggles, right? And psyching yourself into doing these reps are what may make or break the set. So what I mean is, like for example, me on this set specifically, 25 and a 10, it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy. I'm gonna be honest, but that I know that there's people that can help me, that I'm safe, you know, that I'm pumped for the set to rep every single one, then I'm most likely going to do it. And especially for PRs, one rep maxes, and all that, there is definitely going to be a fear factor into it, you know. For given the preacher curl, there is a fear factor that you're just going to like tear your bicep since this exercise has been, from what I view, the only exercise that mainly tears your biceps. And on like a squat or a bench press, a PR, that even though it will sound exciting, doing the rep may be scary. So that is a pointer that I believe going with friends or gym partners or anything like that will help you on like growing muscle or losing fat or chasing the aesthetic or strength that you desire. It it really feels good when you do it with friends, right? Which I believe I had the most gains when I started going with Andrew. So this is of course, in the summer, right? August, starting of August, which we're gonna continue uh going uh till literally next year. Where winter we're gonna go together, spring we're gonna go together, fall whatever, all the way to next summer we're just gonna go with them. And tagging with David and all that, we're just gonna leave each other up, right? Now we're doing uh neutral grip curls on the cable. Uh, good. A little let's say pointer is the handle. They're cones, which you don't you're not able to grip it like a normal handle. So you are also working on your forearms in this exercise. So you see David repping it. Not only he's working on his biceps in this exercise, which is also our um, neutral position. It's right beside our torsos, and it is also working on his forearms. Since these also rubber can slip off, which most of the time I get that feeling that's gonna slip off, but I'm able to do it. I believe on the cable with the pulley, we're able to full stack it, but our goal is to use a gym pin for this kind of exercise, but right now it's not the time for that. We'll just get higher reps on it, and then we'll focus on getting some equipment for that. But we're just repping it right. Leaning back is really good since, like you just saw there, I can just like leap forward if I don't lean as much to the back. And you will most certainly ego lift just a little bit in this exercise, just for the fact that the grip is very thick, and you also don't use your thumbs in this one either, so that is also crucial. You see right there, we just finished the set, and I believe this is the last exercise. So put that subscribe button on with the bell for more gains. All right. See you in the next one.